Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world, and whenever you are tuning into this video. My name is James Porcelli,
I'm Brian Thomas.
and welcome to another edition of the Ruthless Talk Podcast.
Welcome
Happy
back,
Tuesday,
welcome
welcome
back.
back. Yes, sir. It is Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's time to talk another Monday Night Raw show. And there is a lots to talk about, whether it was good, whether it was bad, but there is definitely lots to talk about, as this is season number 8, episode number 16. Man, that's wild. We're 16 episodes into this brand new season. It is absolutely crazy. We'll be at SummerSlam before you know it. We'll be at our roundtable and frickin' SummerSlam review before you know it, right? So anyway, we will jump straight into business, you guys. We're going to talk some Monday Night Raw, as Monday Night Raw was live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We got some returns. We got the King as well as the Queen of the Ring. There was also a devastating injury that happened in this show from a female superstar that was really starting to kick things into high gear as far as her trajectory within her career, as we'll talk about that as far as the show is concerned. But let's start off from the jump, man. Monday Night Raw, once again, live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This was probably, Brian, the most weirdest starts to a Monday Night Raw that I've ever seen in my life. So you have Liv Morgan, who's out there with Dominic. They keep trying to force-fed the booze with Dominic Mysterio. It's at the point to where it's just like, all right, like, let's cut the shit, people. Like, seriously, like, where Dominic's trying to look over his shoulder, and there's hardly maybe
he's a face,
and now it's like he's a baby face now, guys. Like, stop. Because you don't want to book him as such as a heel, so you're gonna get people to cheer him more and more. So guess what? He's gonna be less and less of a heel. That's just how it is. But Liv Morgan, she's talking her shit. She's talking about Nikki Bella and what happened from last week, talking about going after the World Heavyweight Championship, the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And out comes your champion, Io Sky. And Io Sky talking about how defending, I guess, Nikki Bella and how she paved the way for her. It's kind of bullshit, to be quite honest with you, but that's the story that's the story that we're playing.
Right.
And Liv Morgan's like, you know what, Liv, just hand me over the championship, right? It's talking about just giving her the title. And then Dominic tries to cut in. Once again, the fans are trying to force-fed booze, or at least the WWE is trying to force-fed some booze onto Dominic. Again, this whole segment was so fucking weird. And then finally, Io Sky is just like, all right, Liv, I'll give you the title. She hands her the title, drop kicks her in the face. Both of them retreat, both Liv and Dominic, and that was the segment. What the fuck? Guys, what did this accomplish? This was very weird. And listen, much love to Liv and Io Sky. I mean, for starting the show. Like I always say, it's always important to how the show starts as well as the show finishes, or just as important as the show finishes. But this was weird. It was just like, okay, Liv goes out there, she says some words, calls out Io Sky to give her her championship. Io Sky's like, okay, I'll give you the title, just drop kicks her, and then just retreats. That's their first 12 minutes, guys. I don't understand, like, as far as adding a pulse to the show and energy to the show. This was just a lackluster segment that you could have just thrown in the middle of the show. This was just like as boring as you could possibly get. And I hate saying that because I like Liv and I really like Io Sky, but that's just what it is, man. This was a lackluster, lazy way to start the show. And I don't know what this accomplished other than, of course, we'll get into Liv Morgan later, but I guess to tease maybe another match between Io and Liv. I really don't know. Brian, maybe you have a better answer than I do. But what are your thoughts, man, to start of how Monday Night Raw started off the show?
I have a couple of takeaways. First of all, the Monday night whatever, right? Monday Night Morgan, Monday Night Rollins, Monday Night Messiah. But can everybody just stop Monday Night whatever? It just, goddamn it, it's Monday Night Raw. Just let's stop doing that. That's just a nitpick, whatever. The her and Dom stuff was like, because they're just slow playing this so long, and I think that's what's the frustrating part about it.
Yeah.
But then once EO came out there, man, I really liked it, man, because it felt like I can't. You know what? I'm going to save my thoughts for this until we get into later in the show because it can't. There's a couple things with Liv that I was like, all right, man, and with Raquel too, that I think now is just who knows, man, who knows.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, I like EO, but again, I don't know, man. This was just a very weird start to the show. It's just like it's not that anything maybe was necessarily like bad per se. It was just first of all, it just wasn't. It just did not add a pulse to start to the show. Again, you could have just thrown this in the middle of the show, and just B again. I don't know what this overall just accomplished as far as like kickstarting the show as well as what you're trying to evolve with Liv Morgan. Of course, Liv, she's got a lot of things on her plate, or at least going into the show with Nikki Bella and
Yeah,
WWE Evolution. She was going to play a big part of that show. But for EO, man, it's just like I just don't really see the direction with EO Sky's championship. Now we'll get to the Queen of the Ring, and maybe we'll talk about something that's potentially could happen as far as trajectory for her championship. But I don't know, man. It was just very weird to me. Like kind of what you said, Brian. It's kind of mixed to where I love you starting the night off with these ladies because I think they're great. But I'm watching this segment. It was just like Liv calls out EO Sky, wants the championship handed to her, and EO Sky's like, okay, and just drop kicks her and sends her out the ring. That was just it. So I don't know. Again, maybe people have a better answers than I do as far as this segment, but just very interesting. Just a very weird, interesting way to start the show off. But and we move on to the Queen of the Ring tournament. This was the final first round matchup of the Queen of the Ring tournament. You have Stephanie Vacure, you have Ivy Nile, you have Raquel Rodriguez, and a returning Asuka. Asuka has
yeah,
returned with a badass new mask and
yeah.
badass
And
new
even
face
the
paint.
face paint, yeah, yeah,
And face paint. She looks freaking great. She's
yep.
got her OG freaking theme song back, which is also great. So it's little things, it's the little things that we appreciate, right? So good to see Asuka, of course, and Asuka, guys, wins this match. She wins this match, of course. A little bit of a hand, I guess, for Rhea Ripley as she got involved and cost Raquel Rodriguez the match after costing Rhea Ripley her qualifying match, but the first round of this tournament.
Yeah.
And pretty much lays her out with a riptide on the outside. And then Asuka wins the match. I believe pinning Ivy Nile, if I'm not mistaken. I believe
Yeah,
Ivy Nile
yeah.
was the one that took the pinfall. And Asuka wins this match. So she'll be moving on to face Alexa Bliss in the semifinals. She gets on the microphone, cuts a short 90-second promo, talking about like her fire didn't die, her desire to, I guess, to be in WWE, to be a pro wrestler didn't die, right? So kind of added a little bit of the way Asuka does her shtick, right?
Hmm.
So it's good to see her. It really is good to see her. And like I said, it's funny we talk about Asuka, right? To where we mentioned we noticed, of course, the fact that she was going to make her return and be a part of this match. And I'll be the first one to say it. I was like, ain't no fucking way in hell she's winning this match. On one hand, like there was no possible way you could have had Asuka lose this matchup to where it's her returning matchup. Like she has to win this match. And Brian, I'll be honest with you, even though, and this is what sucks too, because I like Alexa Bliss too, because Alexa is also has been beloved by a lot of wrestling fans since she's come
Hmm.
back. And this is what I can't stand about this booking, man. You're putting two ladies in this ring in a matchup to where neither one can lose. I guess you could say it's no harm, no foul because it's a one-off and it's a tournament. And again, there's something going on with Alexa and Charlotte Flair with
Charlotte's going to
whatever
cost
they
her the
got.
match. That's how that's going to go. Charlotte will cost her, yeah. But
We'll
Asuka's
see.
Queen of the Ring.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
no brand split going on. I mean, throughout the night, you
yeah,
saw a bunch of fucking a bunch of talents just jump from one show to the other. So you're
yeah.
probably right. So I mean, at this point, Brian, I don't see how Asuka doesn't win this tournament at this point.
Yeah.
I really seriously don't. To where it'll probably be Jade and Asuka in the finals, and it's a coin flip to whether they do want to give Asuka and Io a one-on-one match, possibly at SummerSlam. You can turn Asuka heel on Io Sky to where you could start a badass feud there, or are they going to go the route to where you see Jade Cargill? This company is very high on Jade Cargill. They want to put the rocket on her at some point. They could just give her that Burger King crown, put it on her head, and probably go after the likes of God knows who, maybe freaking Naomi in the future when she eventually, maybe, who knows, wins that women's championship from Tiffany Stratton. So who knows? But Brian, I'd love to get your thoughts, man. Your thoughts on Asuka's return and her winning this fatal four-way.
This was probably the highlight of the whole night for me. Like this entire match, really, in a lot of aspects. I mean, shout out to Asuka, obviously returning. Great to see her back, man. I didn't realize it had been over a year, man. Goddamn, 13 months, man. It had been that long. Um, so yeah, the way I see it, man, yeah, Asuka again, just returning in a tour. If she's not returning in a tournament to win said tournament, then what the fuck, man? So yeah, I think this is she's going to be Queen of the Ring. Raquel, man, Raquel really looked good in that match, man. And I like the way they're going with Rhea and Raquel starting a feud. I guess that seems to be the route they're going. So I'm on board with that. Stephanie Becker, man, like that woman is the future of women's wrestling. Like she is. Yeah, I mean it's a tournament, whatever. I don't think that harms her anyway. It's a tournament. She's new, she's young, but that woman is the next 10 years, man. Damn, she is going to be running shit. Because holy fuck, like she's. I don't like. You know what it is like. Even with women, a lot of times, and I hate to say this, but like you see like somebody like I don't know, like the greatest of the greats, right? Like a HBK or a Hitman, right? And how smooth and effortless everything looks in the ring, right? Stephanie Becker has that. Like there's no hesitation, there's no like everything is just fluid and smooth. And
yeah,
man, goddamn, she's going to be rocking out for the next 10, 15 years, man. So, yeah, she looked good. Ivy now takes a pinfall. I mean, she's still playing her role in, oh shit, what is it? American Made.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, for the tournament, again, kind of, this is where I think, man, I see and I'm willing to put, because I can see the vision of where they're trying to go, right? Like at the start of the show with Io and Liv. Yeah, like this was gonna be a feud, up in here until some point, maybe the next month or whatever, and then it's gonna shift to Asuka because she's gonna be Queen of the Ring. And that's gonna be your SummerSlam match. And I'm on board with that. Um, coming up here with the Alexa Bliss match. Like Charlotte's gonna interfere in that match. Like it's not gonna be because you're right. Alexa is also beloved and coming back too. It's gonna be interference from Charlotte, and that's gonna be that feud.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just just the Liv stuff, man. It just even backstage when she went back, with Raquel and everything that's just going on, man. It sucks so bad that like it fucking happens now. It's when something so simple, man. Because that's where I kind of think everything was kind of starting to fall in place, man. Like you have this little feud with Liv until you start the thing with Asuka to SummerSlam. You got a feud with Charlotte and Alexa. You got a feud with Raquel and Rhea. But I don't know where it's gonna go now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously with the whole Stephanie Vacure statement, I absolutely agree. She's great. And if you see like her work overseas and in New Japan and everywhere she's went, she's done a tremendous job, at least for
Yeah,
me.
man.
and how I first recognized Stephanie Vacuor was her match against Mercedes Moné not too long ago. I believe that was a Forbidden Door match, legit, I believe, in the
Yeah,
span
maybe.
about a year or so. So yeah, no, this woman is damn good. Now, at least back then, I was like, okay, she's a good, solid wrestler. But what else, right? But now you're starting to see a little bit more, I guess you can say, like, building the mystique about her, and
Yeah, she knows how to work the camera. Like,
work,
yeah,
yeah.
man.
So yeah,
Yep.
no, she is very good. I've been nothing but very high on Stephanie Vacuor and praise Stephanie Vacuor for justified reasons, as a lot of people have been as well. So yeah, she's doing her thing, and like I said, yeah, the loss doesn't do anything. It doesn't do any harm to her at all, and absolutely not. But I just want to make sure that, at least for WWE's sake, like, these losses, if they're not careful, can start to rack up,
Yeah.
as far as, like, we've seen the inconsistencies before. So that's just
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
afraid of as
Yeah.
far as that is concerned. So they just got to be careful as far as, like, okay, you got a returning Asuka, but we also need to continue to make Stephanie and everyone else, Julia, who's
Mhm.
on SmackDown, and
Yep.
everyone else look strong. So will they? Time will only tell. Um, but yeah, no, man, this fatal four way again, I can't stand.
And you're right. I hate the Fatal Four Way, but this one, just because of
No,
the
yeah,
different aspects of it, yeah, it worked.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. No, everybody played their role tremendously, man. Even including Raquel Rodriguez. I've said it about Raquel recently, and it kind of started once they won back, both her and Liv both
Yeah.
won back those
Yep.
tag titles. They had that really good tag match with Naomi and Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
And as
Mm-hmm.
of late, man, Raquel has definitely gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
showcased a lot in this match too. So, I guess you could say with Rhea and Raquel, right now I'm like, take it or
I
leave
want
it.
to
But
see it. I'm ready for that. It's a non-title feud. Rhea's not in the title.
oh, I
It's
agree.
somebody
Yeah,
formidable. Like her stature. Like, okay, this.
yeah, and it
Yeah,
makes
Raquel
it
could kick
makes
your ass
sense.
too.
No, it makes sense. I just want
Yeah.
to see what else, or what they have in store, as far as, like the heat between the two, I guess, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense,
Yeah.
right? I agree with you. Like, Rhea Ripley, we've said it for weeks. Like, she doesn't need to be anywhere near that title right
Yeah.
now. It's just, like, not, absolutely not. And as far as Raquel Rodriguez, I mean, a championship. What's a championship going to do for Raquel at this point? I mean, yeah, she's. I say that she's holding on to a title right now. But yeah, so it's going to
Not
be
for
interesting.
long. Not
Yeah,
for
not, I'll
long.
say not for long, and we'll get
Yeah.
into reasons why later. But yeah, man, and again, even for Ivy Nile too, and hopefully Ivy gets her big break at some
I
point.
hope. Yeah, because man, she's a fucking bulldog, dude.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
absolutely. But the right call was made, man. And even
Yeah.
though,
Yeah. Yeah.
as zero hope I had about Asuka winning this, I was pleasantly surprised that they actually did give this to Asuka. I thought they would give this to Stephanie, at least, thinking of what WWE was going to go the route towards, the, like, oh hey, we'll have Stephanie pin either Raquel or Ivy,
Right.
and
Right.
we'll protect Asuka by not
Right.
having her get pinned, which would have been bullshit. So yeah, man. So listen, man, WWE, look, man, it's sitting listen, it's sitting in your lap, bro. Like, we need heels in this company, right?
And she can be a fantastic one. I'm
She could be a
EO,
fantastic heel.
Asuka, SummerSlam. Fuck
We've
yeah,
seen
man.
glimpses of
Yep.
it. If you put this woman in the right scenario, she could be a damn good heel. And if you put, especially this Kana character with her face paint and everything, with a baby face Io Sky, I mean, dude, come on, man. I mean,
And
come on.
especially look, and this isn't like right. It's not necessarily going to appeal to an American audience, right? But we talk about EO as the champion, right? As the babyface champion, and
Yeah,
can she connect with the crowd or whatever? But like, if you put Asuka and EO together and what they can do within their own language and how they can communicate and what
yeah.
that's going to be so fucking good,
Use
man.
damage control, in the history with damage control to your
Yeah.
advantage to tell that story too. Use your history outside of WWE, to where,
Yep.
like, you're also giving people more of a reason to know more about these ladies, rather than just knowing about who they are in the WWE realm of things.
Yeah.
Again, but that's just, I may be speaking too much as far as this company is concerned.
Book it now, Triple H. Come on, Asuka EO SummerSlam.
For real, man. Your lips to God's ears, bro. Seriously. So, I mean, we'll say, again, it's either most likely going to be Asuka that takes this tournament, or it's probably going to be Jade. Yeah. It's probably going to be one of the two. All right, let's move on to Gunther. Gunther, your new World Heavyweight Champion, hits the ring, and he calls out Seth Rollins, the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, saying, hey, I'm standing right here. Don't waste my time. If you want to cash in, let's do it. Calls him out. But instead of Seth Rollins, he gets a returning Goldberg to the ring. The crowd actually pops. Green Bay, Wisconsin.
I don't, you know what? I just as they do with, I mean, yes, there's some popping, but nah, I don't buy it. Nope. Bullshit.
He makes his way to the ring. This dude is like sweating. This dude is
I'm
not
saying this to be a joke. Especially the last like 10 feet. If you go back and watch, like he's slightly limping, just walking to the fucking ring, man.
Yeah.
He really is.
The dude is 58 years old, bro. The dude is near 60 years old. I'll get more into Goldberg in just a second here. But as far as this segment, so Goldberg is in the ring, and he wants to congratulate Gunther and how he's so proud of him for winning back the championship and everything that he's doing. But then he goes up and says, a few months ago, you started something with him and with me and my family in Atlanta, Georgia, and I want to make sure that it ends in Atlanta, Georgia, to where July the 12th, Saturday night's main event, you're mine because you're next. And Gunther is kind of shook, almost like he's seen a freaking ghost, and he leaves the ring. And that's your segment. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's Gunther and it's Goldberg. Now, it's not confirmed for the title, but the match is pretty much confirmed for July 12th, Saturday night's main event in Atlanta, Georgia, which we expected because it's his hometown. It's where his family is at in the state of Georgia, as well as in Atlanta, Georgia. So that is what you got. So before I get to you, Brian, and of course, if you guys, again, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Brian talks a lot about Goldberg and this entire situation. So if you want to see more of his thoughts on Goldberg, it's on all of our platforms right now. But let me say this, Brian. You know what? It's like, they're the little things in wrestling right nowadays that you don't really see a whole lot as far as today's style of wrestling. The music, the entrance way, you look at Goldberg and you're thinking, all right, the entrance, the music, the people to a degree still pretty much popping and singing along Goldberg, right? Just hear me out. And, we're thinking, all right, hey, that's Goldberg. It feels like Goldberg. It looks like Goldberg. But with all of that said, when that fucking bell rings, it's Bill Goldberg, which is the fucking problem. So where guys like this dude is nearing 60 years old. And, Brian, you kind of hit the nail on the head of what you said in your video to where, we talk about guys like R-Truth and why people like me and you and a few other people are so outspoken about these wrestlers to where like, oh, what's the big deal, right? People like a Baron Corbin or a Dakota Kai or a Dolph Ziggler or whatever the case may be, right? People like a Dijak, I say all the time too, a Dijak, right? But then, you glance over your other shoulder and you go, you know what? We need to sell some tickets to Atlanta, Georgia. We need to sell some tickets to the Shawty show, whatever the case may be. Let's pay Bill Goldberg a couple, maybe millions of dollars to do this one attendance show. We know as far as Goldberg is concerned, right? The dude, even for his entire career, has never been a good wrestler. Never. No. The fact that matter is that people trash people like Ultimate Warrior. And I get it. Ultimate Warrior was never the best wrestler ever, right? But guess what? You know what Ultimate Warrior does have? He has a history of a lot of good matches. For example, WrestleMania 6 against Hulk Hogan, right? Very good matchup. I think WrestleMania 7 against Randy Savage, really damn good matchup. I think he had some matchups with Rick Rude in the past before. Really good freaking matches. So. You can't really say that about a guy like Bill Goldberg as far as moments in certain feuds or moments in certain matches to where you go, wow, I'm going to remember that for, or at least for positive reasons as wrestling fans, maybe not the other way around, but thinking, man, like that's going to be a memorable moment that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life as a fan. Bill Goldberg, let's be honest, he's given you those moments, and it's in the complete opposite direction. We talk about matches with Bret Hart to where he pretty much almost ended his fucking career.
He did, essentially,
as well as, other squash 2 to 3 minute matches. I've spoken about Bray Wyatt, the Fiend match at frickin' Super Showdown, which pissed me the fuck off because you know how much I love Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Matches in regards to Brock Lesnar, matches with Kevin Owens, matches with Dolph Ziggler before. So where it's clear
Undertaker.
as day, Undertaker, to where the Undertaker's life was almost pretty much fucking ended. And now, not only is this dude, you taken all of that, right? So where maybe he was in his 50s, some of those other matches,
late 40s, maybe
late 40s,
yeah.
right? But now this dude is nearing or entering his 60s at this point. And we are now hearing reports that this dude has developed injuries during his training. So where he's talked about how he can't run, right? Because he has an injured knee. He said that. He's like, yeah, we're doing rehabilitation with the knee because I can't run. And then he talked about his shoulder that he hasn't been able to use properly for 5 years. That's a quote from Goldberg. So let me get this straight. We're going to
So he has a spear and a jackhammer, but he can't run and his shoulder's blown out.
Exactly. Think about that. And you're going to see a fucking match in several weeks against Gunther, this fucking Goldberg. Like, at what point, dude, to where, listen, I get it, to where, we sit here and all of us have pride, right? We have certain pride that we hold, and we want to continue to say to ourselves, like, oh, we could still do it. We still got a matchup. I can take, I can do one more payday and put on another performance, right? Like, dude, you're out there, like you said it yourself, dude. You have a busted knee that you can't run on, and you have a shoulder that you specifically said hasn't worked in 5 fucking years. And you're going to go in the ring with Gunther, to where this does absolutely nothing for Gunther. I don't know what this does for him.
No,
but
man.
He's going to and we talk about Gunther being a liability. You want to, this is being a liability to the highest degree, to where you already take Goldberg to where he's already known as a liability in that ring. Now he's almost in his 60s, and now he's got a busted shoulder and a busted knee. What could go wrong?
And you're going to put him out there with your world champ.
Exactly. And nothing will go wrong, right? Just because we promised freaking Goldberg that we're going to give him a retirement match, right? Quote unquote retirement. We'll see as far as that is concerned. But yeah, man, it's just, look, the entrance, the pyro, the music, it may still feel like the amplification in his voice when he talks on the microphone. Yeah, it's Bill Goldberg, to where it's the certain aspects that may be larger than life to some people. But when he's in that fucking ring, guess what you're also getting? Bill Goldberg. And that's the fucking problem. Brian, what are your takes, man?
First of all, I really do want to say, like, before Goldberg came out there, like Gunther, like the promo when he was talking about Rollins, that was really good. I really did like that.
Yeah.
And there is a way, like, we had talked about what they've been doing with Gunther over the past 6 to 8 months, man. Considering that Rollins has the money in the bank, and you got Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed with him, you could slowly turn Gunther legitimately face and make him a great face champion. Get Bill Goldberg the fuck, like, what are we doing, man? I really, I don't understand it. And yeah, it'll be in Atlanta and hometown. And sure, yes, there are fans of Bill Goldberg. I get it. And Atlanta, Georgia, hometown, cheer your ass off, whatever. It just, man, there's a generation, 2 generations actually. It's like, it's kind of like my grandfather's generation and then my father's too. Like, I kind of call it like it's the John Wayne effect on men, particularly white dudes that really do have this belief that, like, I don't know, man. They pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and they just did it all by themselves. And like, here you have a guy like Goldberg who's 60 years old, made more money than I'm sure he's ever dreamed of. He made it to the NFL. He was an NFL football player.
Yeah, right.
Became a huge star in the WWE. And yet you still keep coming back out here. It just reeks of, like, what else do you need, man? Like, you don't have enough money. You haven't had enough cheers over the years. Like, you made it to the NFL. You made it, bro. Like, you don't have anything to prove.
Right.
And I don't understand why. And they'll hide. Yeah, the way I see it is, yes, they hide behind a pride, and I gotta show I can still. Nobody gives a shit if you can still do it at 60. Really, nobody gives a shit.
No.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's and again, I want to read this is an exact quote of what Goldberg said. This came out I believe like a couple of weeks ago, preparing for this match, as obviously we know now what was a rumor ended up being true as far as now this match is official. But this was Goldberg, and I quote, he says, "I'm extremely limited because of my left knee. I can't run, and I've been working around my shoulder that I haven't been able to use for 5 years." End quote. That's fucking Goldberg. And this dude is about to go out and wrestle a match against your world.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, and not that I want anybody to get injured, but goddamn, it better not be Gunter, man.
Right. I mean, like, it's it's so odd to me, right? I mean, listen, we all have our takes about Goldberg and the performer and things like that, and that's,
sure,
trust me, completely justified. I'm not saying anything outside of that, but there's gotta be like a fine line as far as like that you are not getting any younger,
should not be in there.
You should just simply not be in there because you are pretty much wrestling this match with one arm and one fucking leg. Like, seriously, it's just like, it's so fucking weird. It's so not even really weird. It's just that I get it. We see, athletes, right? So professional athletes. We've seen wrestlers, people like even The Undertaker, right? Ric Flair, all of these people, to where like, oh, I can still do it at 50, 55, near 60 years of age, right? Even Sting to a degree, right? And Sting to where, listen, I know how much you love Sting, Brian, to where like, we still have a degree of, we want to put that, we want to, what's the word I'm looking for? We want to continue to hold out hope and live out this dream that we've done for decades upon decades, when in reality, it's just going to do more harm than good for the reputation that you've built for yourself. Because the more you continue to do this, as the years go on and as older as you get, it's just going to hurt your reputation of the legacy that you have created for yourself, whether we like Bill Goldberg or not, to where, he has built his reputation of how he was booked from winning 170 some odd matches in a row. But now, guess what? Goldberg, understand that nobody looks at you as that crazy, sadistic, larger than life, amplified, stone cold, I guess, esque, like you mentioned, Brian, in a video, to where that's where I guess the company really wanted this guy to lean towards, as far as booking Goldberg with the likes of The Undertaker, with the likes of The Fiend, with the likes of Brock Lesnar, with the likes of Dolph Ziggler, matches that are not very good and were very ugly, to where you almost nearly kill people in that fucking ring. And that's just what you're known for, because Goldberg, you can't put your pride aside. You don't know when it's just time to set yourself aside and just go home, right? Just be done with it. But you know what? As long as WWE is going to hand him that check, that big fat check, when they need him to, right? Because this company, let's face it, we can name so many wrestlers in this company that we can kid ourselves and say that they're larger than life, right? That they are superstars. And some of them are better than others. I'm not saying
Yeah, yeah,
not.
yeah.
But, gone are the days of, again, Brian, and you know this better than I do, that, gone are the days of people like a Hulk Hogan, like Andre the Giant, like Ultimate Warrior, like frickin', Razor Ramon, Kevin Nash, Kevin Diesel, right? Roddy Piper, Shawn Michaels, right? I'll even throw fucking Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley in there, right? And so many other people, frickin' King Kong Bundy, right? Frickin' Doink the Clown, all of these fucking people, right? To where, to a degree, they were larger than life. And guess what? Even during the span of Vince McMahon and going into now the era of Triple H, there just hasn't been larger than life stars. You are now resting on the guys still like Randy Orton, like CM Punk, like The Rock, like John Cena, who, yes, as much as I wanted to see John Cena win his 17th world championship, it's clear as fucking day, these matches and what he's doing, to where, yeah, it may be easier for him and his work schedule and what he can do in that ring, but it's still so fucking bad, to where he's calling out spots and it looks, dare I say again, looks very fake to a lot of people when you're screaming out spots. And how you move in that ring, your mannerisms are in that ring, are just not the same anymore. But those are the guys, Brian, that WWE depends on, because no one else can
Yeah.
sell fucking tickets. No one else can continue to make this company rise in viewership or rise in merchandise sales, because merchandise sales are going down. Viewership is going down. So let's keep calling up Bill Goldberg and let's keep sending really talented individuals like Dijak. Shoot, to a degree, honestly, that could have really benefited your company, like people like Baron Corbin and so many other people. Frickin' Dolph Ziggler, frickin' Dakota Kai. Let's send all of these guys and gals out the fucking window, but we won't hesitate to give Bill Goldberg a phone call. Hey, man, can you wrestle one more match? I know we said that your retirement match was a year ago, but let's run it back and do another retirement match, because we need to sell tickets and we need people to be interested in our product. And that's the truth. And that's why, Brian, and you said it yourself, that's why that people just have this disconnect towards Bill Goldberg. It's really not even the fact of Bill Goldberg, to a degree, of him as a wrestler or maybe him as a person. It's just the narrative of the fact that when we do see talent not being bestowed to their best potential, but it's these other part-timers that, let's face it, can't do it anymore. But that's all you have as far as star power. CM Punk, as much as I like CM Punk, and he still brings a lot of value to this company, the dude is nearing 50 years old. John Cena's nearing 50 years old. Goldberg is damn
Like
near
their
60
value
fucking
is
years
on the
old.
microphone at this point,
Right.
really. Cena and Punk,
Absolutely.
both, yeah.
For Punk and the Drew feud, right? The frickin' the strap match, the Hell in a Cell match, and it benefited them. And guess what? It worked. But as far as going 20, even shoot, not even 20, 15 some odd minutes, they can't fucking do it, bro. And that's the problem. And that's why we have this narrative about Goldberg, because it's how WWE is not going to hesitate to give Bill Goldberg that phone call and say, hey, we need you to wrestle a match. We need you to do this. And Bill Goldberg, because of his pride and because of just how, I guess you could say, how stubborn he is, he'll take that fucking paycheck. He'll take it. So why not? Yeah, I'll do it. I got no shoulder. I got no fucking knee, but I'll do it. So, yeah, man. So that's my
No,
mini
I
rant.
just
So.
want to make comment about his matches, right? As a guy who saw his whole career, and I get it, bigger fans will have different memories, but right, 175-0. This is what I remember. I think his first match might have been against Hugh Morris, or if it wasn't, it was very early on. For some reason, I remember that match. William Regal, where he got thoroughly embarrassed. The match where he lost, which was just god awful. The Fiend and the Undertaker. That's what out of 175-0, that's what I remember of Bill Goldberg. As far as matches, like come on,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. Hugh Morris, by the way, you are correct. That was Nitro.
I thought it was his first match.
His first match. It was
Yeah.
WCW Nitro, September 22nd in 1997 was his first
Yeah.
matchup. So yeah, so yeah, man, those are my thoughts, at least from as far as Goldberg and this matchup that we're now getting. Again, we don't know it's for the championship. Maybe that will be officially announced in the future. I don't know, but it's not official yet. It's just a
I
one-on-one
can't
match.
see why they wouldn't make it a championship. Like that would even make it less sense if it's not a championship. I don't know,
Right.
man. Jesus
I
Christ.
don't know. Who the fuck knows, man? But yeah, man. That's what we got. And again, I honestly, to a degree, man, I feel bad for Gunther. I really truly do. To where, you know, not only do I fear for his life in this fucking match, but it's just like this dude. It doesn't even benefit him. He's gonna beat a near 60-year-old Goldberg, and then what? What are we doing with fucking Gunther, dude? To where
That's
this
what
dude
I'm saying. Just the promo he cut, talking about Rollins. Just do that, man. Just get into that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this dude is a damn good fucking heel. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that you don't have anything, and what sucks is that because of this Jey Uso feud and how horrible it's been, it's made Gunther look like an idiot, to where these matches don't benefit him, to where this dude can barely fucking get Jey Uso to tap out. He's freaking Jey Uso's passing out after being in a freaking chokehold for 20 minutes, but he'll fucking tap out to his own move. How is that making Gunther look good? And now because he's beating Goldberg, because it's Goldberg, a 60-plus-year-old Goldberg, and this is what's really going to get Gunther back on track. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just stop, man. It's unbelievable, but here we are, Brian. Here we are. So, and we will talk about this matchup when we get to Saturday night's main
I might
event.
not, man. I'll just leave that to you. I'll comment on Gunther.
Right, just turn your camera off. It's just like, I'll just fucking take the floor, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah, man, Goldberg returns. At least Asuka returned. You saw an Asuka return.
Yeah.
You get also a Goldberg return as well. But, hey, it's the NBA The NBA Finals was freaking last night, right? So, you had freaking College World Series. You had all of this shit. So, WWE's got to pull something. Oh, let's bring in Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? So, enough of that, man. Let's move on into the show. We can go on for hours talking about this discussion, but let's move on.
Never mind. Never mind. Let's go. I was just gonna say, in all seriousness, even at this age, and I don't even know when the last time Bret Hart stepped in the ring, but I would put money on it. He could still have a better match and more entertaining match right now. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
It would not shock me at all. How old is Bret Hart? I think Bret Hart is
he's over 60. I would say he's probably well 65, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Now I'm curious. Hold on a second. Bret Hart, how old is this dude? As I look up his age right here. Hold on. Bret Hart is 67 years old. So
67. Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, yeah, he could put maybe, he could.
I bet he could, dude. I bet he could.
On a good, maybe 5, 6.
You know what? If Goldberg, you want a goddamn retirement match, fucking Bret Hart. God damn it.
Bret Hart against Goldberg, a 67-year-old man and a 58-year-old. Oh my goodness gracious.
No, anyway. I know Bret. I don't want to see Bret. I think still will come up on the short end on that one. I think he's a little his injuries and things are. Yeah. He does not move around too well at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, moving on. So we move on to a one-on-one matchup. This was AJ Styles versus Dominic, not Dominic, JD McDonough in a one-on-one match. Dominic was at ringside for this match. Styles wins via pinfall. Dominic tries to cheap shot Styles, but to no avail. Finn Balor's out there to come out to save Mysterio. The whole Judgment Day surround freaking Styles like a pack of wolves, but then Styles is like, oh, there's only 3 of you. There's an opening at the rampway. I'll just go this way. And Styles just fucking leaves. So that was just very weird. I mean, guys, look, the Judgment Day, guys. I mean, I don't give a shit, dude. I mean, bro, they sent off Carlito, and now Carlito's no longer there. So now you got to continue to make sense of this faction and why they're together. It's dead on arrival at this point, with as far as, again, and I like Finn Balor. JD, I actually have a lot of respect now for JD McDonough for, of course, the punctured lung that he did suffer in this matchup.
I remember him back in
For
NXT, man. He saw something in that dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, not this matchup, but freaking a tag match a couple weeks ago. Of course,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
against the War Raiders.
War
I'm
Raiders.
assuming it was War Raiders. So, and look in Styles, man. I mean, look, and again, I try, Brian. I try so hard to where every time AJ Styles, I hear that theme music and I see him wrestle, I try to soak it all in because he's mentioned by the age of 50, he's 48 right now. Like by the time he says he's 50, he says he's going to be retiring. He says he's going to be done. He said that on Chris Van Vliet's podcast, as far as, how much longer he has. So I try, Brian, at least for up until that point, every time he's out there, I'm trying to just truly just be captivated and soak it all in. And to a degree I do because it's AJ Styles. But at the same time, I don't give a shit about him going after this IC title. I just don't care for it. So where we just had this title on Dominic and it's turning him more into a face. So you pretty much, Brian, technically, right, even though he's supposed to be a heel, Dominic, but let's face it, the dude is getting more cheers than he is boos right now. So you technically have two faces in this freaking matchup as it's been made official for Saudi. It's going to be Styles versus Dominic for the IC title. So look, man, I just don't care, man. Like, I'm sorry. A lot of these matches Brian, they just don't, especially title matches. There's no heat. There's zero. There's fucking none. There's absolutely no heat for me to care, right? It's not even the fact of Styles, and I don't, dislike Styles. I love AJ Styles, but I just don't care about what he's involved in because this company is just not making me care. And it sucks. I have tons of respect for Dominic and where he has gotten at this point now. I just don't care. I just do not care. It's lazy. There's no effort putting into this show at all. And that's just how I feel. So Brian, what are your takes, man?
As far as the match and everything, I mean, it was okay, I guess. But when is this match with Dominic? Is that at Saturday night's main event, or did they make that for Saudi?
That is for Saudi Arabia.
That's for Saudi. AJ Styles is winning that. I think they're putting the IC title on him. And then, so that's what I'm waiting for. To see where they go with AJ Styles with him with the IC title. But yeah, I think they're taking it off Dom. And again, it's just, you're right with the Judgment Day. We've been here and we've talked about it on the last few episodes, man. We've been here so long, with the Judgment Day and breaking up and just come on, man. So it's got to end by Saudi. I think AJ Styles is gonna take that belt. We'll talk about something that's coming up here shortly, but you see the tension with Dom and Finn, Raquel, Roxanne now. So yeah, I think the writing's on the wall for that, and then we'll see where we go with AJ, man. But I am interested to see what they can do with him in an IC title run. But it's just going to be two guys, right off the bat that I can see. Like I would love to see a feud with him. IC titles: Rusev, Aleister Black. So we'll see.
Yeah. And again, listen, guys, I'm not going to listen for people that might be taking this out of context. In no way, shape, or form do I not want to see AJ Styles, win an IC championship. But it's just like, again, guys, I have to be honest with myself to where, because of the fact that, yeah, maybe he's won a lot of matches, because I've mentioned it last week in a Raw review. He actually wins 80 to 90% of his matches. But the problem is that the booking and the storylines that he's in do not follow up or add up to his win-loss record. So even Brian, even if he does win this championship, because you might be right, because they're starting or trying to start something with Dominic and Finn Balor for the longest time now in a feud, to where I guess it's going to paint Finn as more as the heel and Dominic's going to go full-fledged face. And then possibly because of this injury that we're going to get into, we're going to slowly start to build up Roxanne Perez's involvement in all of this, the same way that Liv Morgan was inserted into the Judgment Day when she started. So I don't know. So I get that part. But Brian, when AJ Styles does win this, or if he wins this championship, it's just that I'm like, you know what? My honest reaction is going to be, you know what? Hey, good for Styles. That's it.
That's
I'm
fair.
not going to
Yeah.
feel anything. That's the problem, Brian, about just as a wrestling fan. Like, I want these title changes to feel something. Like, I want them to mean something, right? To a degree, like Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39 winning that title, that would have fucking meant something, dude. Freaking even to a degree, right? What was it? Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 39, the first night of WrestleMania. That felt something because the bloodline story was at its freaking peak back then. And so many, like Daniel Bryan winning that championship at freaking WrestleMania 30, WrestleMania 30 against the Authority, battling against the Authority. That felt something. Guys, these title changes, because we continue to flip-flop titles off of people because you deserve it and you deserve it. You work so hard. And the fans, they say that you deserve it. You're a good wrestler, so we're just going to put the title on you. Guys, that's not how it works. What about giving the superstar the title that has the most momentum, that's in the best storyline, that is rocking on all cylinders? Like, are we running a charity or are we running a fucking product or a business here? That's my problem. So where are we just giving this title to AJ because he's deserved it, because he's earned it? Not saying that he hasn't, but I'm just saying, like, where is the heat? Where are the championship victories that are going to mean something again? Because all I'm seeing, Brian, nowadays is just flip-flopping titles because, oh, this person's worked hard. So they feel, are a good wrestler. They've put in hours in the work. Yeah, we'll just give them this championship. It's just like, we do that for everybody. And we wonder why viewership goes fucking down. We wonder why, like Selena Vega. I like Selena Vega a lot, but she's holding on to a US title and nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. Because why? Because we all respect and like Selena Vega. We want to put a championship on Sami Zayn because he's earned it and he's put in work. Again, not saying that he hasn't, but why not put that title on him when this dude was fucking white hot 2 years ago? And it's unfortunate, Brian, for Sami Zayn, because the dude was in a rock and a hard place, because you had Roman Reigns as the champion, right, at the time going into Mania, and you had Cody Rhodes that was just destined for that championship. So I'm sorry, man, as much as I may like and respect some of these talents, that doesn't mean they need to just win a championship. The championship is the icing on the cake. That's it. It's like, if you would just give them a title and with the same amount of booking, it's not going to matter. So even if Styles wins this title, Brian, what am I expecting that's going to be different with AJ Styles' booking? The answer is nothing. And that's just the problem I have. Can I be wrong? Sure. But I mean, does previous history tell us otherwise? It's just, that's just my problem, man. So again, much love to Styles. Again, much love to Dominic. Again, I have nothing but love and respect for these people. But just because we have love and respect for these talents doesn't mean that we throw them a bone and say, hey, let's give you a championship. No, you give them that championship when it's called for, when the ratings and everything else, when the storyline calls for you to get that championship. That's when you do it. You don't just throw it and share it around like it's a bag of Skittles. Stop. It's just so stupid. So that's, again, my mini rant. 2 fucking rants and back-to-back segments. Holy shit. Anyway, let's move on, man. We got the ladies once again. We got Bayley. Bayley comes out. She addresses Becky Lynch, of course, and her attack from Becky Lynch last week. Of course, Bayley getting her retribution after frickin' Bayley, or excuse me, Becky took Bayley out, that inserted her in the tag match with Lyra at WrestleMania. So Bayley's on that microphone, talking about how she's was robbed of an opportunity at Mania, and talking about the women's tag championships, a division that she holds near and dear to her heart. And, she's just really doing a pretty darn solid job, I might add. So Bayley, she continues to say some words, and then Becky Lynch comes out. So Becky Lynch comes out, and then they're face to face. And this was actually a good little interaction. I'm not going to lie. It was good for what it was, but like Bailey's like in her face, like do something, like step up, and then Becky's like, whoa there. She's like backed up into the freaking ropes or whatever. I'm sorry, but Becky Lynch is a good heel, man. She really is.
Yeah.
She really does a good job for what's given to her. And along with Bailey, that I thought did also a pretty decent job in this segment. And I'll get more into this as well later, but so Bailey and Becky, they continue to share words, and all this really kind of led to was just making a matchup for next week official. As far as a title match, it's going to be Becky, it's going to be Bailey next week for the women's IC title. It's like, oh, we're not going to do it in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We'll do it next week. So I think in Ohio, somewhere in Ohio, I think, is where Monday Night Raw is going to be next week. But so Becky Lynch tries to throw a cheap shot, and then Bailey counters, freaking slaps her or punches her across her mug, and then Becky waltzes off up the rampway, and that was your segment. So, I mean, look, how do I put this, man? Look, I really do like the work that Becky Lynch is putting in. I really do. I really do like what she's doing. Even Bailey to a certain degree. I'm not saying she was great, but I thought that she did pretty well for what's given to her. Is it better than what she has done in the past as a heel? No, obviously not, but she could still hold her own very, very well. The problem is, man, it's just the fact that all this led to was just, I guess, to make a match official for next week. And it's the same thing I said about Styles. Even if Bailey is going to win this championship, like, what are we going to feel that's different about Bailey? Because let's face it, she hasn't been booked properly up until this point. And let's face it too, Becky's not going to win this title, or excuse me, Becky's not going to lose this championship.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
So again, so what is this doing for Bailey? So now Bailey is in this shtick now with Lyra saying like, oh, like, I'm sorry, I haven't gotten back to your calls, your texts, right? I had to do what's best for me. And Lyra's like, oh yeah, don't worry. Once you win that championship, I'm going to do what's best for me too. So, you have that little friction there, I suppose. So I don't know if this is starting up some sort of feud, I guess. So let me get this straight. So we're starting a turn, like a Bailey heel turn against Lyra, when we did the same heel turn with Becky against Lyra. I don't understand, man. Make it make sense, unless you're just gonna throw all of these ladies in one match in a triple threat match at SummerSlam, which is probably what they'll probably still do. I just don't understand how this benefits Bailey, because you've backed yourself into a corner to where, oh, Bailey's going to lose this match, right? Or something happens. Maybe Lyra does get involved some way, somehow, to maybe make Bailey stay face. I don't know. But even with Bailey winning or losing this match, I just don't know how this benefits her. Her throwing in with Lyra is just very, I guess, an interesting situation, because I mean, with Lyra, they're going to continue to showcase Lyra as the babyface moving forward. We know that. So for Bailey's sake, like, are we going to now turn Bailey heel in the future? Okay, I get it. Bailey has been a good heel, and I'm sure she can do well. But are we just going to do the same shtick with Bailey like we've already been doing with Becky? And why does Bailey even need to turn heel? She doesn't need to turn heel. I thought she cut a damn solid promo. Again, nothing spectacular, but it was a solid promo last night. I mean, as Bailey as a face is just fine. And now we're going to potentially turn her heel in the future and tease this friction with Lyra just to get to a feud with Lyra Valkyria. It's weird. Or even a triple threat. It's just also another weird dynamic. So I don't know where you go with this that's going to make any ounce of sense as far as backing yourself into a corner, because you're doing that with Bailey. And if you're not careful, you can also do the same with all of these other ladies involved. So I don't know. But Brian, what are your takes, man?
Man, I've said it a lot. Like, as far as Bailey, like, she's my number one of the four horsewomen. And if I'm being honest, last night felt like kind of a death knell for her. It did, man. She came out there, she's just returning, and I don't know, man. Like, you know what? We don't deserve her. WWE, like, we don't deserve her, man. She comes out there, right, and starts the promo, and if you go back and watch, it sounded like maybe there was a little contingent maybe getting ready to start a chant, right? It just so she kind of hears it and then stops, and then the chant doesn't start. So it looks bad. And even after that, like the fans, at least in that arena, did not seem to really, they didn't. There wasn't much of a pulse, man. Until she had to like goad them into it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Sucks.
I just think with that one promo just last night, and I think WWE is going to look at that. And you're right. Like now in this story with Becky and Lyra, where I mean, Bailey's a face, and she just came back as a face, and you're having a match against Becky where I don't know. It's not going to make sense if Becky loses already on Monday Night Raw,
Right. No.
or if Bailey did win, and then like you said, like then Lyra, the face, is coming after it. I just feel like, man, that was the death nail for Bailey, and I
Yeah.
hope I'm fucking wrong. I so hope I'm wrong. But that last night, it just felt like fuck, yeah.
Yeah,
This
and
is it's I don't
like I
know.
said, I thought the promo was fine, but no, you're
I did
absolutely right.
too, but
It's
at the
just that
beginning, like, yeah,
the
and the
crowd is
fans,
just
they didn't react.
yeah, and
Yeah,
like I mean, are we shocked though? That's the thing. It's just like the way that
yeah,
Bailey has been booked. It's like you don't give us a reason to
hmm
care about Bailey, and in the fact that
right,
we're throwing her in a match with Becky and putting her in the same ring with Becky, to where again this promo segment. If you take the crowd, I know it's hard to do that, but taking the crowd and how they reacted towards her out of the equation, yes, it was a decent back and forth. Again,
right,
I
right.
thought Bailey held
Yeah,
her own. And Becky
yeah,
Lynch, again, I think has been putting in tremendous work. And you hear that reaction, Brian, because I'm glad that you brought it up. It sucks. It really does suck because I thought her promo
yeah,
was fine. Again, nothing great or spectacular, but she hit her bullet points when she needed to. But the problem is that because Bailey has been booked so horribly, like she's
yeah,
dead on arrival at this fucking point, and it sucks. It really does suck. Um, and I don't know. I don't know where or how this is really intriguing fans. I don't know. That's the
yeah.
problem too.
It'll
Like,
be interesting. I don't know what the angle is Monday
yeah,
night,
because
man. That'll be interesting. Yeah,
I don't know what a title match for Bailey is gonna do to help get Bailey that steam, unless it's something with Lyra. But again, if we're doing
then you'd
that,
have to
then
turn Bailey heel, and
right,
yeah,
and we just did that with Becky. Like we're doing the
right,
same. This is the problem, Brian, with this company. It's gonna be a recycled fucking storyline because you just
yeah.
did it with Becky, and now you potentially are what gonna do it with Bailey and turn Bailey heel. Come on, man. It's just make it make sense. Make it fucking make sense. And guess what? And because of that, you've backed you. That's why I say this company has backed themselves into a corner as far as this entire situation. You have a
Yeah,
triple threat that's just very weird. You have Bailey to where it's not going to do anything, depending on whether how she loses this title, right? Or with this title matchup next week. It's not going to fucking matter because she's in a title match. Nobody cares about her being in this title match. I'm sorry, nobody. So, like, and now what? You're going to turn her heel, but you've also backed yourself into a corner because you're doing the same exact feud with Lyra that you just did with Becky Lynch. So I don't know. I really don't know. And
yeah,
I'll just end it with that. But let's move on. More on the ladies, men. And this is where we also take, things a turn for the worse as far as this match. This was Kairi Sane and Liv Morgan. The bell rings. Morgan
yeah,
goes for a boot to the face. Kairi Sane counters it. She does a dragon screw takedown, and Morgan immediately tries to break her fall and completely lands or tries to break her fall on her hands and completely separates her shoulder. She lands very awkwardly on the landing to where she immediately has to roll out of the ring. She's in agonizing pain. Doctors, medical staff had to check in with Liv to where, they cut the camera off of Liv and just put it directly on Kairi. So you knew that this was serious.
yeah.
To where they wouldn't, you can tell as far as like camera shots and everything. Like, you knew that this was a serious thing here.
Yep.
And so once we come back from commercial, Liv is being taken to the back, and they announced that because Liv Morgan can't continue, Kairi Sane is the winner of the match. Like, not even 5 seconds in. And that's
Yeah, I
what
mean,
was
literally,
really,
bell rang, one move,
and
boom,
you're done.
over.
That's
Yeah,
what's, it's not even like, it would have been one thing if it was like maybe 5-8 minutes into the matchup. It was legit, guys, the first 5 seconds of the match, which sucks. So here's what I'll say, man. I mean, look, much love to Liv Morgan.
absolutely.
I don't know yet of how severe this shoulder separation is, depending on the
But I would imagine,
severity
yeah,
of the
if it's
injury. It
separated her
could
shoulder, it shouldn't be too long she's out, I wouldn't imagine.
probably,
But,
I mean, I guess
yeah,
depending what, maybe like 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks tops, I guess, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, a couple months.
So yeah, we'll see
A
as far as that
month
is
or two,
concerned.
yeah.
Say about a month and a half, 2 months, or maybe a month or
Yeah.
two. Yeah, we'll see. But much love to Liv Morgan, man. And this sucks because right now, I mean, dude,
Right.
she
It's
started the
horrible
show.
timing. Like, goddamn.
She
Like,
kicked off the show, for fuck's sake.
yep,
They
yep.
are really this company, whether again we like Liv Morgan or not, and I'll get more into Liv Morgan as far as like, because I've been putting Liv Morgan on a pedestal ever since we've had this platform. But you've been seeing, man, to where like lately, I mean the world championship title reign, the storylines with
Even the
Dominic,
tag title reign with
the tag
Raquel. I mean,
title
it
reign with
hasn't.
Raquel, the
They've been the
performance.
best tag team women's champions. Like, yeah.
The performances that she's put on, the tag match itself, the elimination chamber match, she has pretty much been just the MVP of this women's division
Yeah.
over the past
100%.
year, with her title reign, being the world champion to boot as well. And you see that even without that title, she was still getting more and more of that rocket. She was going to get more of the rocket. She was going to be a part of a big matchup for WWE Evolution, whether again we like it or not, it doesn't matter. But with Nikki Bella, maybe it was going to be a match with the Bella twins for those tag titles. We talked about that last week as well. And then this just happens, man. 5 seconds within a match, it's just it's very just devastating. It really is. Now,
Yeah.
Kairi Sane has been getting a lot of backlash from this, not just from this injury, but she
The
was
fuck?
also involved of Zoe Stark's injury as well. So it's like, I guess you can say as far as like it's a running trend to where like Kairi Sane has been in the middle of all of these injuries. Now let me say this, right? Kairi Sane has nothing like it's a freak accident. For people that are actually
Yeah,
blaming
bro.
Kairi Sane for this injury, like stop. I guys, I even like, because I heard this, Brian. I'm like oh, like Kairi Sane, like it was a horrible dragon screw. Like it was so
Oh, get
horribly
the
done.
fuck.
And I was like, I mean, well, first of all, I went back
Well,
and watched it. I'm like, am I watching two separate matches? Like, what are we doing? And I went back and watched the dragon screw. I'm just like, it was just an awkward fall. I'm like, I don't know what people are
yeah,
talking
I mean,
about.
you braced herself, and
She braced
and the
herself, and
shit
then
happens.
exactly. So it's just like people just are fucking weird. Now with the Zoe Starks injury,
Yeah,
right? To
she
where
missed her spot.
she
Yep.
missed her spot. Clearly, she did. Now I don't know if it was maybe a combination of the fact that Kyrie had a lot of faith in Zoe Starks to where she can still springboard that much. I don't know, but clearly there was some miscommunication, and it was on
Yeah.
Kyrie, and we talked about that. But this incident, bro, it's a freak
No,
accident. I
come
mean,
on,
like there's
man.
really
Come
nothing
on.
to
Yeah.
bash Kyrie Zane about. I mean, let's be honest here. So I just want to
That's
get that
internet
out the
for
way.
you.
I mean, it's so fucking weird.
That
I'm
is
like,
so
Brian, like
fucking stupid,
I'm
man.
reading this shit on X. I'm like, what are we fucking doing? People say that I bitch about shit. Like we go to this situation and I'm like, what the fuck are we on about?
Wow.
It's like,
Yeah.
wow. Seriously, wow. That was my reaction. I'm just like, wow. So yeah, it sucks, man. I feel for Liv Morgan, I do, because she was
Yeah.
getting the rocket. And she's been, again, not only was she given that rocket, but she's been improving, constantly improving
Hmm.
with her promos, with her matches. She's put on damn near so many great performances from the Rumble, again, from the Elimination Chamber, from even from matches with Rhea Ripley from that feud, even though it didn't end the
Yeah.
way we all hoped it for, matches with Io Sky, right? And so many, again, the tag match with freaking Raquel, Bianca, and Naomi, and so many other matches to where she's been damn near carrying or been this MVP or been the MVP of this women's division. I don't think it's even close. And for this to happen, man, it's just shitty timing, man. It really is. It sucks. So much love to Liv Morgan for a speedy recovery. We wish her nothing but the best, and just a very unfortunate situation. So Brian, what are your takes, man, as far as this injury from Liv Morgan?
Yeah, man. It's just the timing of everything. It's just like, God damn it, man. Because did she come back like 2.5 years ago? Was that from an injury, or had she been released and then came back? I can't
No,
remember what that.
I think that was from an injury.
Go back to that, man. And in the last 2.5 years, like Liv Morgan has made herself, bro. Like, yeah, she has made massive steps. And yeah, I would have to agree with you. In the last year, in the women's division, yeah, she's been the MVP for and I don't think it's close considering the kinds of matches, world champion, tag team champion. Yeah, you could arguably say she's been the MVP of that division. You
Now,
still got the Judgment Day shit that, I mean, it's dragging out, but even the little, that backstage interaction with like her and Raquel now, the tension that just started last night.
yeah.
So yeah, it just sucks, man. Separated shoulder, not a serious injury, so hopefully not too long, and we'll see her back. But it's pro wrestling, man. It's one of those things where, like, especially when you know what, like she is in her groove right now. Like she is fucking in it, and that's what sucks because you get this injury, and yeah, it only takes a month. You're gone for a month, and man, you're like storyline's over. The momentum over. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it fucking sucks, man. So
Yeah.
shout out, Liv, man. We see you. Not even this year, the last year, but the last 2.5 years, man. Since you came back, you've been fucking killing it, man, and making strides. And yeah, hope we see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Now she does have history of shoulder injuries in the past. We were talking about her other injury from the past. This was in 2023, where she did have a torn labrum. She had another dislocation in her shoulder and a torn labrum, which was from the Rhea Ripley feud when she was a baby face, to where
Oh
Rhea
yeah,
Ripley was, I believe, the women's champion, and she took her out. And that's what created more of that storyline when Liv Morgan came back, and then Rhea Ripley
yeah,
got injured, and then Rhea Ripley was on the shelf. So that's how it started. So
right.
Liv does have an unfortunate, history as far as shoulder and elbow, or just shoulder separations and everything like that. So so it sucks. It really does suck. Again, I continue to praise Liv Morgan for justified reasons, and it
Yeah,
sucks to
man.
where she's getting all of this momentum and, again, this mega push and being a big factor for WWE Evolution, and within 5 seconds into the match, and this shit
It's
happens, man.
something
It's
so fluky, and that's why really, I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, but like,
yeah, no,
as much as we talk about like all the the flips and the dives and the unnecessary risks, it's because of that, man. Like
yeah, it could
what they
happen
do
to
is
anybody.
dangerous, and just something as simple as that. Like, yeah, you land a little wrong, your shoulders fucking out of socket, dude. That easy. Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. It can happen to anybody, man. So that's what I
yeah,
mean, man. It's just like these people, nowadays that legit, and again, I get it. Listen, they know their bodies more than anyone else.
sure,
So if that's what
sure.
they want to do, then fricking have a party, right? But it's just like, fricking, I can't wait for the day, Brian, to where wrestlers nowadays can sit back and go, man, like, why do I need to do all this extra shit just for what? Just for a cheap
A
pop
cheap
and a
pop.
freaking whatever? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Liv Morgan has, again, she's again a tremendous talent, and she's been awesome in that ring, and she's put in tremendous performances. But again, Liv Morgan is one of those gals to where she doesn't need to fly from pillar to post in order
No.
to captivate people. She just doesn't. And
Yeah.
for that to happen, man, it sucks. It really does suck. So we'll know more about the severity of this injury, the shoulder separation injury, or dislocation. Again, she does have a history with unfortunate shoulder separation. She had a torn labrum in 2023.
Which may play a part of, she may be out longer because of that, So,
possibly.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if this is the same shoulder from that. Maybe it possibly could be. Again, I don't know that. But if that's the case, then probably so. So we'll see, man. We shall see. But much love to Liv Morgan. Again, just thoughts and prayers for a very speedy recovery on her end. So let's move on, man. I have to mention this. This was a backstage segment. Karrion Kross.
Hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off. Because I meant to say this in the Bailey thing. I know it's not your generation. Do you know the Chappelle Show? Like, do you know?
Dave Chappelle. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when Bailey's coming in backstage, man, did you see fucking God damn it, the New Day?
Xavier.
Well,
Woods.
It was Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
Man, if you've ever seen the episode of I can't remember what it was, like the pimp ball or the pimp something.
Yeah. What was?
I mean, that Xavier Woods, almost to a T, man. Like, goddamn, it was just I saw it immediately and that got a pop, and I'm just like, goddamn.
Yeah, that was.
Anyway, shout out to Chappelle and Xavier Woods. I don't know if that's what he was going for, but I see you.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, no, I love the Dave Chappelle show. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Fucking love that shit. As soon as I saw that, I thought of Dave Chappelle. I love freaking the Dave Chappelle show.
Oh man.
Xavier Woods, man, is he's not one of my favorites, man, but listen, I'll give him kudos for that. He's
like every now and then, he gets a laugh from me. Some, just like out of nowhere, man. Yeah, because this wasn't even on. He wasn't. They weren't even on a segment. He was just in the background.
Yeah. Well, they had the they had the promo segments where they were out in the ring and they cut a promo. They announced that they were going to defend their titles.
Oh, maybe I skipped over that because I didn't see him.
It wasn't that long. It was there was nothing of importance, but they were out in the ring. Or not in the ring, but at kind of almost like the rampway, not really the stage, but the rampway. And they're like, "Hey, we're gonna defend our tag titles, but not in Green Bay, Wisconsin." And they were just chatting their shit, and that was pretty much it.
Gotcha.
But he had the get up and everything. But yeah, he was also backstage when Bailey was walking by when they were about to cut to commercial. So yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up, Brian. Shout out to the Dave Chappelle show and people who watch the Dave Chappelle show because that was funny. Moving on, man. So yeah, I want to get to this Karrion Kross segment real quick, man. Bro, Karrion Kross, man, what the fuck, Brian, are we doing as far as with Karrion Kross? What's the payoff
I know,
here?
but maybe not.
So I guess listen, I'm guessing at some point you're gonna get a Karrion Kross and a Sami Zayn matchup at some point. Probably again when he's mentioned hey, when King of the Ring is done. Once I'm done with this, man, I'm coming after you. And Karrion Kross, it's about time or about damn time. And then he waltzes off to where we've seen these segments, but we don't really know where it's going, right? But it's not in an intriguing way. It's just more of a confusing, baffling way. But Karrion Kross, man, is so fucking good. He's just so fucking good at what he does. And again, if you want to put in Sami Zayn in anything that's going to captivate or it's going to catapult him, for me, especially me as a fan, to care more about Sami Zayn as a face, let's fucking do it, man. But for some odd reason, this company, to where I don't know if this guy is in the fucking doghouse, to where this dude is just all he's doing is he's just in these 90-second backstage segments, but he kills it. He actually just he kills it for what's given to him. I love the fact that he's not relying on the WWE bubble to, I guess, give him that opportunity. He's making the opportunity for himself. You saw, his documentary that he's posted on YouTube and the stuff that he does on social media and, hidden messages that he puts out on his Twitter and all of this stuff, to where I love it. You're not relying on the machine to just sit and wait and be like, oh, I'm going to be a good boy and I'm going to wait my turn. Cross is like, no, motherfucker, I'm going to make the most of this opportunity. And if I get released tomorrow, I don't give a flying shit because I'm doing everything in my power, or at least trying to, because this company is not meeting me halfway. Because again, it's just like the promo and his mannerisms and how he's saying everything. And I'll let you get into detail, Brian. So like, what are your takes, man, as far as just Cross and the shtick with Sami Zayn? Do you see anything going with this, man? What are your takes?
So, the whole Cross and Sami Zayn thing, right? Like, what does Cross keep saying to Sami? Like about, kind of like the friendship, the nice guy, the whatever.
Yeah, like you're
And he's
never gonna
gonna
win the
fight Jay,
championship, right? Or whatever the
right?
fuck, yeah.
And so he's gonna fight Jay or no? Would that be in the finals?
So he's fighting
He's fighting Orton.
Orton. And yes, if he wins
Yeah.
that, he faces either Cody or Jay, which I'll be honest with you, I don't even think that's going to happen. I don't even see any way how Cody is going to lose to Jay Uso. And we'll get to Jay in this main event later. But if that is the case, then it'll most likely be, if Jay does pass Cody, then yeah, it's going to be Sami and Jay in the finals. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like I see, or this is what I'm hoping for, right? They're going to have the tournament. Sammy's not going to win the tournament, and maybe it's whoever beats him, whatever, because of the nice he can't get there, and then I guess he's going to have the match with Cross. But I'm waiting for like Cross and Sammy need to pair up, right? And that's where I'm thinking this is going to go. So yeah, he'll have the match afterwards, and I don't know, maybe that'll be a couple weeks, a month. They'll play that or whatever. But I think eventually you're going to see Karrion and Sammy together, and I'm on board with that. It's a little too long to get there, but this is again kind of where I'm kind of willing to give the benefit of the doubt a little bit, because all this stuff with Karrion Cross, kind of started back at WrestleMania weekend. So we're a couple months from it, and obviously they had no plans for him. So it's going to take a little bit to formulate something. And okay, if it's Sammy, here in this, that's what we're going to get going. All right, man. I'm willing to give that a chance, but I think I'd rather Sammy it lead to Sammy turning heel and joining Karrion.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I don't know, man. It's just like they're gonna have to prove it to me to where they're not even meeting Cross halfway as far as like the dude. Again, he's your best talent on that damn roster. And for a 2.5-hour show, all you have him for is a 90-second backstage segment. So that's the thing, to where even if Sammy does link up with Karrion Cross, is Triple H in this company going to give them the time or the day to do that? You see what I'm saying? Maybe they will. I don't know. But that's just, I don't know. As far as, I guess, needing heels in this company and needing something for Sami Zayn that can be different. Because again, as a babyface, man, it's just that you can argue and say, how far is Sami Zayn going to go doing the nice guy babyface shtick, right?
Right.
So
right.
it depends on how they do it. And I'll give it a chance if that is the case. I'll give it a chance. I just don't trust the execution of it, but that could potentially happen.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll for sure.
Because again, I don't know what a world championship is going to do for Sami Zayn. If you were going to give a championship to Sami Zayn, it was 2+ years ago when he was feuding with Roman in the Bloodline. That was the time. But he was in a rock and a hard place because Roman was not going to lose that title anytime soon. And he wasn't going to lose it at a B-level pay-per-view in Canada. And it sucks for Sami Zayn because, again, that was his peak, dude. And then he won tag titles, which was a good moment, but he's never been the same since. Never. And now you're going to give him this championship now to where before he was white hot. No, I'm sorry, man. That's just underwhelming. It's just an underwhelming moment to where it just leaves more to be desired, if that just makes sense. So I don't know. You know, because you can go so far as doing this good guy, you know, I guess Rocky story that Sami Zayn does. Like, oh, I can become world champion, right? I pick myself up, I dust myself off, and I'm do it the right way. You know, how far can you really go with that? You know what I'm saying? To where like
Yeah,
it no longer has its luster because he's not at the same, I guess, steam level and momentum that he was 2+ years ago. He just wasn't. So I don't know. All I know is man, is that Karrion Cross, like we gotta make this dude somewhat more of a factor in a
100%,
2+ hour show. It's just fucking
100%, man.
ridiculous at this point.
Yeah,
And that's just really my only take as far as that. Again, the segments for what it is on a week to week basis are good. I just don't think it's leading to anything. I really don't. And if it is with Karrion linking up with Sami Zayn, do we trust the execution of that working? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll soon find out. But let's get to this main event. As this was again the last first round matchup of the King of the Ring tournament. You had Big Bronson Reed, you had Rusev, you had Sheamus, and your mystery opponent or mystery talent was main event Jey Uso, as they did like a mystery angle of who's going to be this fourth person in this tournament. Well, it's Jey Uso. And Jey Uso wins this match. He hits two splashes from the top rope onto Bronson Reed, pins him in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, and Jey Uso wins this match. This was an overbooked match. There was a lot of shit that happened. Braun Breaker was
yeah,
out there, freaking, you know, causing havoc. Freaking Penta was out there. Sami Zayn was
yeah.
out there.
LA
LA
Knight.
Knight pushing Bronson Reed off the top rope, costing Bronson Reed the matchup. So look, man, look, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, to where like after, you know, Seth Rollins comes out and this dude's pissed off, right? He's taking off his tie, right? He's got his freaking gold necklace on and his freaking shades, and he takes those shits off, right? And then he comes in the ring, he's about to start something, and then Cody Rhodes comes out. And you know, the freaking this dominant faction, I don't even know what this faction is, bro. Like, this faction legit puts me to sleep. I don't care about this faction. They don't even have a name, right? We don't even know what the idea, like what is this faction? There's no name. I don't know what we're doing as far as like Paul Heyman. Just I don't know. It's just weird. This faction is just
Everything
very
now
weird
just
to me.
seems to protect Seth in the briefcase. It
Yeah,
just that's it.
exactly. That's really it. And I don't know. And Seth Rollins doesn't need a mouthpiece. He is the fucking mouthpiece. And Paul Heyman is just
Yeah.
fucking there. It's just, I'm sorry, man. With Roman, it works. With Brock, it works. With this, I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling that same spark. I'm just
Not so
not.
far, like really,
Not
yeah,
so
yeah,
far. At least not so
yeah.
far. It's just not hitting at all. Because especially when you're not giving them a fucking name. I don't know what the name of this alliance is supposed to be.
Rollins heroes.
Like
I don't know.
fucking Bronson and Breaker, they come out like bouncers at a fucking club, like
Mhm.
looking like J&J security. If you guys know, you know, from Rollins Architect days. So, it's just a weird dynamic, man. And I'm not captivated by them. I'm just not seeing them as a faction taking over the fucking Raw roster or whatever the fuck. That's number one. Number two, the matchup itself. I mean, listen, the match was the match. They overbooked the fuck out of it. On one end, I respect it. I don't mind overbooked matches. Yes, they can get sloppy at times, but it shows me, as a, you know, an honest fan and a critic, that hey, you're putting in some efforts to at least create some sort of, I guess, amplification, right? It's where you had Sami Zayn, you had
Excitement, different
Penta.
angles. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I respect that. As far as a brand split, to where now we just got random motherfuckers jumping out there. Again,
I
LA
don't know
Knight.
why they still even do that, man. I
Right,
don't know
yeah. It's
why.
like technically there's still a brand split going on. Like LA Knight is a SmackDown superstar and frickin' Cody's a SmackDown superstar. Nick Aldis was filling in for Pierce because he wasn't, I guess he wasn't able to fill in. So Nick Aldis was the general manager for one night. So yeah, it's just like, and then Cody, so Cody and Jay, right? to where, look, I get it. The fact of the matter is, Brian, if you've noticed, even if you include the women, all of these ladies that are and guys that are left in this tournament, 90% of them are baby faces.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of who? Frickin' Roxanne Perez, because you have
Roxanne
Asuka,
Perez.
you got
That's it.
Alexa
Yeah.
Bliss and Jade, who are faces. You turn to the guys: Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. They're all baby faces. And now, James, the story to where maybe Sammy can turn heel or someone's going to turn heel. And I get it, guys. I completely get it. And I also get the fact that you have two heel champions. You got a heel that's parading around a briefcase. So as far as this tournament is concerned, you need maybe one more face than a heel, I suppose, right? I get it. But the fact of the matter is that, maybe you can argue with me and say that, oh, well, James, it's a tournament. It's a one-off. It's no harm, no foul. Maybe you're right. But to a degree, man, it's just that if you are trying to get to this said story, I just don't understand, Brian, why putting a face and a face in a face or a heel versus a heel is properly executing to get to this certain conclusion of a story. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So where, like, with Sami Zayn and Randy Orton, both baby faces, Cody and Jay are both baby faces. I don't understand why that you would put these two people in the worst position possible, to where both of these dudes are out there trying to execute and do the exact same thing, which is please the crowd, get them to be behind them, all of this other stuff. And with one person doing that along with another person, somebody's going to get out cheered, and it's not going to make the other person look better. So I understand that this is where the story could lead to, and I get that there's more heel champions than there's baby faces. I get all of that. But if that's the case, because of the fact that you knew this tournament was coming up, you knew that, and because of the fact you made the decision to take the title off of Jay and put it on Gunther, you knew you were going to make the decision to put the title on Cena as a heel, and you knew this King of the Ring was coming up in the near future. So that tells me, Brian, that they either just don't care or they just completely fucked up, and now they're saying, well, shit, now we'll just throw majority of our faces to be headlining this frickin' tournament. I don't know. It's just very weird of how you're just executing all of this. So I don't know if you have a better answer, Brian, but your thoughts on this fatal four-way, Jey Uso winning this match, and overall, I guess you could say this show as a whole.
And so we're down to the final four in the King of the Ring. Yeah, it's weird, man. Like neither Jay or Cody. It's weird that Sammy and Orton are fighting each other, because to me, those are the only two that should be possibly King of the Ring. And that's like, I don't even think Orton should be. Like, out of the four, considering where everybody's in and storylines, it's Sammy. But then you go into, again, it's one of those things where, with considering these are the four left in there, the way I would book it is Sammy winning the King of the Ring, and then continuing or starting this feud with Karrion. The only other way I see it is Orton winning just to get a King of the Ring accolade, and then somehow they're going to play that into the Cody John Cena story with all that shit. But I don't know if those are the best two options. I feel. I mean, Jay winning King of the Ring after just losing the world title.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes just being Cody Rhodes and going after Cena again, and what you can do with Orton. He doesn't need to be King of the Ring.
No.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not really excited about this tournament.
No.
Unless it produces something between Sammy and Karrion. That's it.
Yeah, no, and I hear you. And because of the fact of how Karrion has been booked to this point, I don't even see that really working out because they don't meet Karrion Kross halfway anyway. So who the fuck knows, man? Because it's just like, listen, Cody Rhodes, right? I mean, listen, I don't listen. For me, I don't see Cody Rhodes losing to Jay. I just don't see how you would make that decision for Cody to lose to Jay. Just for what? To give Jay a consolation prize. Hey, we took the title away from you, but we'll give you a scepter and a crown and another championship opportunity. The fuck? It's just that's weird. Even Cody Rhodes, to a degree, is also weird, to where you're gonna also give him a crown and a scepter to get a rematch with Cena. So but now that you're in this predicament, to where, I mean, Brian, you're right. So where even though that Sami Zayn is the only semblance of a story, like you said with Karrion, the best way to execute, I'd say, that story is have Sami Zayn, I guess, win this King of the Ring. But what does that say, to where I guess the only way for him to stay face in a way is that you continue to execute that story with Karrion? Because again, I'll be honest with you, this dude has no business winning a world championship right now. I'm sorry. So if you are gonna tap into this Karrion Kross story, depending how you do it, I mean, we'll see. We'll see as far as that is concerned, but. Guys, this is just so weird. It's so weird. Nothing of how
you know what? God damn it! I just thought of something. Oh fuck! God damn it! Jey Uso is going to be King of the Ring because I wasn't even. I keep forgetting that it's the added title shot, right? Cena's already fought Cody. He's already fought Orton.
Yeah.
Sammy, take it or leave it. It's going to be Jay. It's going to be Jay.
Because at the end of the day, when you with this King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring,
why did they make it? Why did they add that like a title shot to that? I don't fucking get it.
Because
man,
it's WWE, bro, and they don't want to make anything fucking make sense, and they just want to make shit complicated. That's fucking why they do it, and to piss people off.
Jay. It'll be Jay. It'll be Jay and Sammy. Sammy's gonna lose. Karrion will be there, so they'll continue that story, and Jay's gonna get the title shot at SummerSlam.
I don't know, man. Again, that's possible. I'm leaning more towards that.
And Cena can use that too, as he's beating you, right? Because as popular as Jay got, that's what they're gonna do.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be Cody and Orton in the finals.
Okay.
I think that's what they're gonna go to, for the most part. Because if we are gonna talk about getting a said title opportunity, let's say at SummerSlam, because keep in mind, Brian, even though he still has to go through a tournament, Cody Rhodes did pin John Cena at Money in the Bank. Even though he doesn't really need to do a tournament to get a rematch per se, but he's going to win this tournament, possibly defeat probably Randy Orton, and maybe that could lead some seeds planted for you to do a Orton and Cody feud in the future. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being hopeful. So
no, for sure. If that's because we've been saying that, man, we need a Cody Orton feud before Orton goes out, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. So that's my gut feeling, that they are going to have Orton and Cody for Saudi Arabia in the finals for this tournament. That's my gut feeling. To where if Sami Zayn is going to, what's going to happen, bro? If Karrion Kross is going to cost Sami Zayn, it's going to be in the semifinals against Randy Orton. That's probably what they're going to do. Because I don't see Sami Zayn beating Orton. And I just don't see Jey Uso, to a certain degree, I just don't see him beating Cody. I don't see Cody Rhodes being left off of this Saudi pay-per-view, at least as far as
fair. Yeah.
Star power and other scenarios outside of the storylines, right? So I'm trying to take all of it into consideration as well. So, but again, Brian, this company probably doesn't know what the fuck they want to do either. Maybe they have an idea, but they still haven't executed on what they actually want to do. So, and again, man, listen, if you guys think that I'm going to sit here and BS you and say this was a good show,
The women's
no.
fatal 4-way was, and Liv to kick off, Liv and Io to kick off the show. I liked it, but then she's injured, so we're not going to see that.
Right. Asuka returning was probably the highlight of the show. I'm just,
Yep.
that's it. Outside of that, and maybe the Karrion Kross backstage segment for me. Outside of that, bro, you want me to sit here, guys, and lie and say that this was a good fucking show? I mean, what are we doing?
Let me say this too, man. And this is what I meant to in part by saying, we don't deserve Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
When Seth Rollins comes out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Cody Rhodes comes out there. You saw the reaction that the crowd gave Bayley. And granted, everybody's got their, and maybe that's just Green Bay, right? Who knows? But you just get a stare down between Cody and Seth, and you get a holy shit chant. Do we not just remember? I mean, what 4 years ago, Hell in a Cell, Cody torn pec, like what? And they just stare at each other, and you motherfuckers just saying "Holy shit!" I don't get it. I just don't fucking get it. Like these people, like these two individuals had a whole fucking feud, and it was great. It was holy shit.
Right,
oh man,
yeah, with the torn pack, right? It was Seth wearing the dusty polka dots and everything too to kind of rub salt in the wound and shit, right? All of that shit.
It's just weird how you can have Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, torn pec, 3 matches, grueling feud, promos back and forth, Hell in a Cell, and it's a lot of holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That you can't just have a stare down between the two and have a holy shit chant. Like I just what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's again, man. And guess what? Freaking WWE hears that shit, and guess what? Like they're gonna eat that shit up.
It's like it was like a holy shit. It just seemed like, oh my god, we're gonna get a Cody and Seth match. We
got it already. We've seen it.
It was so weird, man. So weird.
Cody versus Seth. We've never seen that before. Yeah, bro, we did at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
The torn labrum, right? The torn pec, right? And the same year that Cody should have won the title, by the way, too.
Right.
Oh, fucking A, man. Unfucking real. I mean, listen, guys, like Jey Uso was the mystery person to be in this tournament. He wins. I mean, you take out Rusev and Sheamus, who are doing their thing, I guess, to I don't know, whatever the fuck that's going, I don't know. Bronson Reed, you knew that LA Knight was gonna play a part in it. That's what's kind of weird too, Brian. So we're like LA Knight again. This is what's weird about the brand split. As much as I like the overbooking, like you would think because of the fact that this dude is a SmackDown superstar, right? Because I'm pretty sure he's a SmackDown superstar, correct? I'm pretty sure he's on
LA
SmackDown.
Knight, yeah. LA Knight.
So like so he interfered, right? So where he got in Braun Breaker's matchup, right? And then like LA Knight interferes with Bronson Reed. It's like, oh well, they cost him on SmackDown, so here he is to pay the favor. I'm like, okay, well you just did that 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, it's like, make it believable to where like, all right, you got a SmackDown superstar coming in uninvited, like up your security, do something to make it believable. So bro, this is what I mean about the brand split. So where technically it's still a thing, but we're still jumping people from brand to brand. It's just like, I don't understand.
That's something I never understood why they started it from day one. The draft,
I agree.
The brand split, like this is again, it's not a real sport. And you guys are, whether it's SmackDown or Raw, like, and it's to me at least, it makes it more fun if people can just show up, whenever, and you don't keep them separate. And like, that's always seemed weird to me. This is a wrestling show. It's scripted.
Right.
Other than, I don't know if it's because of wrestler schedules, maybe, these said wrestle, like if you're on a SmackDown, you work these set, maybe that has something to do with it. I have no idea. But outside of that, it makes no fucking sense.
And maybe I don't know if it's just the fact that Triple H just doesn't know how to book these guys on separate brands. So now it's like all hands on deck. Let's just send multiple people from one brand and send them over to the other. And just like, because we don't know how to properly place people on separate brands, let's just throw everybody out there, to kind of create some sort of moment and some sort of, I guess, spark to the show. That's one of my guesses as far as that is concerned. But like, bro, it's just like, if you're not going to make sense of brand split to where, again, LA Knight, he's going to try to maybe show up again to cost, Seth's alliance in this tournament. Make it believable to where maybe LA Knight's coming in, right? He does his fucking walk. Yeah. Freaking comes in, waltzing in, freaking into the arena, and make it believable, right? Maybe there's security and people meeting him at the door, like they expected LA Knight he was going to be there. Make it like a big deal or something, like just something as simplistic as that. So where like this guy freaking showed up 2 weeks ago or last week, right? He cost Braun Breaker his King of the Ring matchup, and he got freaking or lost in his qualifying match on SmackDown. So you knew he was going to come out for reputation, right? So make it believable to where like you're not going to take a SmackDown superstar, bring him in uninvited, unless freaking Nick Aldis was locked in a closet somewhere. It's just like, I don't, or freaking Adam Pearce. I don't fucking know. Oh man, so we can go on here for like fucking hours about what is everything wrong about this company, but yeah, man, listen, to put the final bow on this entire show, man, it's just once again, it's another Monday Night Raw. That's just, again, I'm not going to go back and watch outside of Asuka and her return. There's really nothing to latch onto, nothing at all.
Yeah.
It was lazy, it was lackluster. There's no effort, there's no care. Nothing makes sense of how you're trying to execute a storyline or where you're trying to go with things. And that's just the honest truth, man. That's the honest truth. But don't worry, guys. We got Goldberg in a retirement match with frickin' Gunther in a couple weeks. Thank God we got that shit, Brian. Thank fucking God we got that. So that's gonna do it, y'all, for today's episode, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was another episode of the Ruthless Talk podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more content. Unfortunately, due to our schedules, there will not be a Sports Corner episode this week, and there will not be, unfortunately, any AEW content this week. Again, just poor timing as far as our schedules is concerned. But again, we do have AEW All In the future to talk about. We will discuss that. We will try to get some AEW discussions in for this coming weekend. That's when our next episode will be, along with SmackDown, and follow up with, again, the Queen of the Ring tournament, the King of the Ring tournament, seeing where things go. But we will try to find some time maybe this weekend to talk some AEW. So stay tuned for all of that. Once again, you see the banner down below. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram and TikTok. That is Ruthless_Talk. Once again, thank you guys so much for continuing to build the platform, continuing to build this community. We appreciate you guys so much. We are now 19 subscribers away here on YouTube from 400 subscribers. Nice. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and also make sure to hit that notification bell so that way you do not miss a single episode that is published out to the platform. Once again, thank you guys to everybody. It's going to be a very busy summer as far as content is concerned, but we would not have it any other way. Thank you guys so much, and stay tuned for much more content to come on this platform. Brian, final thoughts, man, before we end this show.
Shout out to Liv. Hopefully speedy recovery, not too serious. Welcome back, Asuka. Your future Queen of the Ring. And eat a bag of dicks, Bill Goldberg.
Good old Bill Goldberg. That is going to do it for today's episode, everybody. My name is James Porcelli.
I'm Brian Thomas.
Until next time, there will be a next time. Your boys are signing off saying salute.
Peace out.
And take care, everybody. Top guys, we are out. Never fail, and so he goes back to the remedy.